So this is just the beginning of the next phase of layering on this right hand speaker. So got up to about here. I think this is the steering wheel side. This is upside down. This is facing us in the seat, driver's seat. And this is facing the outer window. There's a little bit left to do there. And there's all of this here. So I was just doing a proof of concept with this whole front section. This is all underneath at the back, underneath near the fuse box / window side. Alright, so I'm just going to cover it all, be done what's done. Door handle is clearing, it's quite good, and we'll just get on with it. But anyway, I guess all of this time lapse probably means I have to make a song in the AI song maker to update our 3D pen celebrations. Okay, continue with that.
3D. 3D pen, 3D pen, this is where we begin. 3D pen, 3D pen, 3D pen.
And here's just a little bit of real-time footage for you. And this is one of those things where it looks really painstaking, but it's actually really enjoyable because I know what it's going to sound like at the end, because I've done a 1/3 of the speaker, then I listened to it and oh my god, it was like sort of Christmas, New Year's Eve, birthday. So all you have to do is say to yourself, I'm just going to fill this in, it's a nice day of hobbies, let's finish this. It did sort of, you start to have a few little doubt things, but the good outweighs the bad. I just smooth it off with this screwdriver, get rid of the flyaway. Because I always wanted to, or imagined what it would sound like sealed, totally encased in rigid plastic. And then part of me is going, oh, but I'm going to lose that subtle, quick, open baffle / aperiodic enclosure benefit. And I don't know, I think tightness and dynamics and the impact outweighs the quickness. I don't know. I sort of lacked a little bit of, I guess, if there were dense piano notes in that 150 to 250 range, it would sort of cloud your perception. A little bit of a full passage of dense music. So that's why we're doing that. And that was the little bit of real time. Let's do one more row. I just pick an area. It's all about just getting your hand angle to where you can comfortably see what you're doing and lay down a bead. So here I'm going backwards up the bead, and I can't actually see what the bead's doing, but it's kind of oozing out in front, and then go back down. And sometimes I might like to just make a little enclosure space and just fill the space. It reminds me a bit of 80s video games. There was one where you had to draw off sections to trap a moving opponent, and every time you'd fill in a space, you'd have to leave your line to go and make a line to build a square to come back and then finish your square, and then you get the space in between. So it reminds me of that game. Maybe if I'm bored when I'm editing, I'll put a little clip of what that game is. Very ancient, early game. Okay, so that's me. That's what goes through my mind when I do this. I might listen to YouTube. I might listen to music, just filling it in. Listening to this little motor on this little thing go. This little pen has served me well. And I'm still on the first roll of PETG. And I do actually have a second roll, but I haven't opened it yet. Getting ahead of myself. Alright, so that's almost that last little area in here. And if I haven't got any big goobies, then I don't have to squish it with the screwdriver. So at that point, it's still quite pushable, but after about a minute, it gets a bit harder. In 2 minutes, it's like ABS plastic strength.
So you got a 3D pen, you got a 3D pen, that's neat, that's neat. What's in your head for, what's in your head for? Many things you can make with this if you wanna build anything. 3D pen, 3D pen, 3D, 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 3D,
Maybe occurred to me a few times before I even heard of the 3D pen, just to do everything really 100% in super glue, but then it's a really stinky job and your hands get all stuck together, and it's technically possible, but I think maybe this is even more economically cheaper, really, because to cover the whole back of this in very thick sticky tape and super glue would have meant maybe $300 worth of super glue alone, you know what I'm saying? So this is just like a $25 roll of PETG, and I haven't even finished the first roll yet. A couple of things here to observe. This is the speaker side. This is the enclosure side. Now, as you might notice, there's a mounting bracket at the top here and another bracket there for holding the mid-range and the tweeter. And what you might have not seen before, unless you watched me build this thing a year or so ago, this is the actual wall material that I chose for the bottom of the enclosure to make it aperiodic, and later I put the tape on as a extra closing of the air flow, and then now we're going full plastic. So by the time this full plastic gets up to here, it's still going to be almost a vented, not ported, but venting enclosure that has an aperiodic wall at the end. If I really wanted to, I could enclose it up in plastic, but I think we'll just leave that little bit there, because it's probably barely 1.5 liters for this little 6-inch. And between my finger and the, the pole of the magnet, there's probably about 2 inches of open cell phone, really open, so I could push that in, compress it if I felt like it. Also on the compression topic, this material is quite pushy, and this here at the edge still has a bit of give, but because it's going to be all in a dome shape, it's like in those, when you build an archway or a dome structure, it's supporting itself in every direction, and now this is rock solid, no flex. So I'm hoping that it's all going to be rock solid, no flex by the time we finish off here at this current point in our construction. All right, continue.
Breathe.